Hello, this is the how-to video for Alma Magic. So in this tutorial, we're going to go over how to play the exam portion of the game. So first we're going to go over what comes in the box. So we're going to start over here and we come with the tiles, which we don't need to worry about for this part. The hats, some extra students, the spell books and the potions that you're going to use on your character to distinguish what health they have, and the spell books to figure out whose turn is already gone. The dice for the characters, we have a lot more dice over here. The teacher cards, the students that are not in play in the class exams, the rival and tutors, the face cards for the teachers, the extra spell cards that you're going to unlock, and then over here we've got the actual gameplay that we have set up. So, to start the game, you can come from the tile edition in the class. And so in that edition, we had Sammy, Libby, Martin, and Margot were our winners of that class. So they're going to go head to head with all the teachers. And then the losers were Alexander, Blaze, Zoe, and Jax. So they had the option of being as tutors or rivals. So they decided Alexander was going to be a tutor, so he was going to be on the team of the students. Blaze was going to be a rival, so he's with the teachers. Zoe's also a rival, and Jax is a tutor. So that's going to come important later on. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to go through our teacher cards. We're going to bring out level 1 teacher, and the level 1 is distinguished by up the top up here, their name. So we're going to go against Bernadette. She is levitation, and her lesson for us is if you can't ride a broom, you're no wizard. So that's nothing to worry about for this one. So since it's level 1, their health that they have here, so we're just going to put a little health potion on top of that, and then their spell cards. So first thing you're going to do is lay out your characters however you want to have them laid out. So you can have these cards closer to you for the tutorial video here. We're just going to put them right where they are, and you can put your little wizards wherever you would want to. Now, if you wanted to switch these guys up, you're more than welcome to, and switch these cards around. So we've laid out this specific example though. So we've got Sammy first, and our tutor, Alexander, is stuck with her the whole time. So that can be switched around too in the beginning, but for this course, we're stuck with them. So we're going to take our dice. Now, Alexander is always going to have his 3 dice, as well as that team dice. So we got 3 team dice and 3 red dice that are specific to Alexander's. So we're just going to get started right away. And we rolled a lot of 6s. So we rolled a 6. We're going to put 6 there. We're not looking too good, Alexander. There. Where else we want to go? Oh, this is actually a good idea. Let's put down there. And then we've got 2 4s. They're not really helpful, but since they're black, we can put them on whoever's card we want. So I'm actually going to put 1 there, and I'm going to hold off on putting 1 somewhere else. And then that's the end of Alexander's turn because he did not fill up any of his cards. So next is Sammy's turn. So Sammy's going to take that extra die, the extra black dice, and she's going to roll whatever she wants. She's going to keep that 1 there. So she rolled a 1, 6, 3, and a 5. Perfect. So we are going to use this 3 and a 5. Put those there. We have a 6 here. And we have this 1 that we're just going to put down there. So we have filled up this spell. So what this says is inflict damage, and the teacher doesn't rotate this turn. So we're going to take these die off of there. Now we're going to cast this spell. So we have to roll a 6 or higher. And I rolled an 8. Perfect. So we are going to attack and hit the teacher. So we did 1 damage. Perfect. Now those dice are off to the side. They go back into the team's pool. And it is the teacher's turn. So she takes her dice. So we got all 6 of her dice now. I'll get these out of the way. And we are going to roll these. So we've got to put these specifically in the order that they're rolled in on. So we're going to have this 4, this 2, this 2 is not useful, this 6, oh, not good for her, 5, and that is it. So these dice have to be placed if there's an open area. These ones don't get placed anywhere, but she did fill up this area. So we're going to take these die, just like we did with Sammy now. This is skip the next turn of the wizard point at. So we're gonna roll these, and she had to roll a 9 or higher. She rolled a 13. So the next time it's Sammy and Alexander's turn, they are skipped. which is not good for them. So all these dice are now back in her pool, and we are going to not rotate, which we normally would, but because of Sammy's ability, that stopped that. And it is over here to Blaze's turn. So Blaze is gonna take his dice, and since he's a rival, he's gonna take his team dice, which are the entire separate entity. So you wanna make sure that the rival's dice are separated from the students and the tutors. So we're gonna roll these dice. Okay, and he rolled a 4, from which we're gonna put down there, the 1, the 3, the 6, and then he cannot put these in the teacher's spell area, but he can give them to his other rivals. So he's just gonna toss these over here. Let's see what they do. Now he filled up his level 1 spell, so we're gonna say roll 1 of the teacher's available dice and place it in the teacher's spell area. So we need to roll 4 or higher. We did. I'm doing fantastic at rolling for the bad guys. So we're gonna take 1 of the teacher's spell dice, we're gonna roll that, and it's a 5. So that doesn't get used anywhere. All right. Now it is Libby's turn. We're gonna go back to our team's dice. So we've got that 1 black that we have unlocked. And then Alexander is gonna say, you know what, give me this black dice, we're not gonna use this anymore. So now we've got that additional black dice in there as well. And one thing to note is on these cards, we've got this pink symbol and these green symbols. The pink symbols are to denote that they have to be used on that turn, whereas the green symbols can be used whenever you want as long as the die are not being cast by another wizard. So for example, if Rah 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 wanted to be cast, that could be used at any time because it's a green spell. So all we have to do is fill that up, and whoever's turn it is, she can use that spell. However, the pom-pom attack has to be used on her turn. So we will roll those dice. We rolled a 2, which we want there, our 6, which we want there, and another 6, which we like. 5, we're gonna give that to Martin, and this 1 we're just gonna put there for now. So we are actually gonna use that Rah Rah Rah, remove all the dice from the teacher's spell area. So we need a 6 or higher, and I failed. We rolled a 5, which means that black die goes back in the spell area and nothing happens basically. But the teacher is back on, and the teacher did not rotate last time. So she's still pointed at Sammy. We're gonna roll. Ooh, we lost track of that guy. So we're gonna place these die where they need to be placed, which a lot of 4s and 5s it looks like. 5 is not gonna be used, that guy, and we have 2 4s, which means nothing. So she doesn't actually get to use any of her spells, but now she gets to rotate. So now she is rotated at Libby here. And now it is Zoe's turn, so we're gonna take Zoe's die on this side with their available black dice. And so we're gonna leave her dice down there. A roll, we got 5, a lot of 5. How did I roll all 5s? 3, and another 5. But that's not very useful right now, so we're just gonna go with that. Now, these dice were already placed here, so I can't just move them down here and say I wanted to use that. They're stuck there. If I wanted to move these, I'd have to take them off and re-roll them. So absolutely nothing happens with Zoe there. So now we're over to Martin's turn. Martin's gonna take his 3 dice, his black dice, and I think we're just gonna roll in hopes to get that 4. Ooh, we did. So we got that 4, we got that 3 that we wanted too. We got a 1, which we want to put down there, and then another black 3, which we're actually gonna toss over here. And so, heal 1 ally wizard for any health. We've got this guy full, and we've got the first one as well. So we are gonna cast this first spell for do 1 damage. We needed a 3 or higher, and I rolled a 1, so we're gonna do no damage. And we're gonna heal for 1 health. However, we're already full on health for everybody, I believe, so we're not gonna do anything. We're gonna save that for whenever we want, because that's actually a green spell, so we can use that whenever we wanna do that. So now it is the teacher's turn, so we're gonna take these teacher die again. Roll these guys. 6, not useful. 2 again though. Ugh, 5 and 6 again. So, just like before, we're gonna take these die here, and we're gonna hope that she doesn't roll a 9, and she didn't even come close. So, nothing happens there, and she's done. Now she is going to rotate, and she's facing back over here. Now we're over to Jax on the left here. He's a tutor for Margot, and we are just gonna roll these dice. We just wanna save these guys. Now we've got 2 5s and a 6. Now, even though he's gray, he's not allowed to give his gray dice over to Sammy. He's gotta stick with his. Only the team dice are allowed to be swapped across each other. So he didn't really give us much. So we're just gonna stick with that. Now it is Margot's turn. Now she could choose to get rid of that black 3. Now she's gonna leave it though, because we like that there. We feel safe. And then we're gonna roll these guys. We got a 6, a 2, a 1, nothing big. But we're just gonna hit this with this regular 3, and hopefully we can roll higher than a 3. It looks like we need that crystal ball. And we got 3 or higher, so we're doing 1 more damage. And that is how the gameplay is going to go around. Now, we can continue the gameplay like this. It would go on until finally the teacher's health is below 1 and they're defeated. After that, everyone's gonna remove all their dice and take it off to the side. So bear with me for a moment. And then everyone's gonna take one of their character's dice and roll for whatever they have there. So they're gonna try and basically roll for this extra spell card. So every player is gonna roll, and whoever gets the highest number, they're gonna compete against each other. So we actually will say that Libby and Blaze are our 2 highest right here. So that's a good example, because then Blaze is our rival and Libby is our student. So we got, again, tying it up, and finally Libby won out. So if Blaze had won, then no one would be allowed to unlock a new spell card. But because Libby won, she's allowed to go through any of these spell cards and unlock whatever one that she wants. They're double-sided. They can be swapped in and out between exams themselves, so between teachers, and then it just adds as another spell that they would have. So she can give this to anybody on her team that she would want, and they can then flip them whatever side they want. They work exactly like a regular spell card. They just need to roll and fill up those specific spell dice areas. So then if we move to the next teacher, which is just on the other side of this, we've got Javada. We would basically reset everybody, so everybody removes all the dice from their areas, and same thing with the teachers. They're going to face, starting with the front, so just whatever area the beginning is that you can pretty much dictate. You're allowed to change up your positions of characters, and then as the game continued, since that was the end of the round, the rivals they can rotate as they move. So at the end of that round, they would rotate to the next character here. So that they would have, Martin would have a Blaze as his rival, and Jax and Margot would have that one with Zoe, and continue on that way. But the tutors don't move at all. So then as the round continued, these guys would still continue and rotate and rotate and rotate, unlike the tutors that keep staying there. So we'll just move those go there if they wanted to. And then Javada has a special ability where the wizard pointed at may not use any of the green passive spells. So you can look at the face card, and that would be pointing up this way. So Martin would be unable to use any of his green spell cards while Javada is pointing that direction. Now, once Javada rotates, as she does on her turns, it would go over here. Martin would be allowed to use his green spell cards, however, Margot would not. And so the game would continue all the way through until you're finally able to take down all the teachers and become a full-fledged wizard yourself.